So in building Rememberlings and Inklings, I've learned that I like to build things. I like to use it myself, but I don't like to promote it. I don't like to share it. I don't like to build out social media. Like it's just not my jam. I think it's boring. It's just not my thing. You marketing people, that's great for you. I'm really happy for you. But it's really not my thing. So what I wanted to do was I would like to share it with people. I would like people to get some use out of it because I have put a lot of effort into it and I find it valuable and I think it's fun. So I wanted to challenge myself to figure out a way to automate this, right? Like there has to be a better way. So I did, and I want to share with you guys what this is. So what originally this has been through 2 iterations now. And this is where I'm at now, and it's working. So, what I want to show you is this flow and how I built it. This is what I'm calling renderlings, because obviously I have to stick with the lings lingo by now. Thank you, ChatGPT. But let me show you what I built and how I did it at a high level. And then I'll also do a second video that I will break down more in depth of the different prompts, etc., and how this works. So if you wanted to take the idea and replicate it, you could do the same thing as well. So let's dive in. At a high level, what you are going to end up with is a bunch of posts, a bunch of info. So this looks crazy, right? This is kind of excessive. It's just a lot, and it's a lot. We don't really want that. So let's break down what this is and what it means. So we are going to start out with the brand base. The brand base is for each of my products. So I have Inklings, I have Rememberlings, and then I have me. So Inklings is my journal prompting application that I built, and Rememberlings is my chat history summaries. Think like Facebook memories, but for your message history. And then me is my personal brand. And so what me is just kind of on there right now. You'll see I don't actually use it for any of these. So we're just going to focus on Inklings and Rememberlings right now. But what I had to do first was I had to define the brand. Okay. I had to have a one-liner. What's its core job? What are tone and keywords to use? What's the visual style? What's the primary colors, the text color, primary carousel color, secondary color, backgrounds, iconic or I don't know how to say that word, shapes, what to avoid, call to actions, etc. I had to put in the logos, I had to put in the font, etc. ChatGPT knows my websites, knows my brands really well because it helped me in the design and actually building out those when I was using Cursor to design those. And so it was able to put these together with me relatively easily. So that was helpful. If you have a tool that you're using to build your sites, having it pop these out for you is great because then you already know. Now, some other information that I have on here is things like my decisions of how much I want to post. So you'll see here like post per weeks. So for Inklings right now, I want to do 4 posts per week because I'm also doing a 2026 gratitude challenge, and those are every day. So I don't want to also post like generic content every day. But Rememberlings, I want to post every day. When I'm deciding how much of these I want to post, the static, I want 50%. The carousel, I want 35%. And the reels, I want 15%. You can see the last post. So I have posts planned out to the middle of April right now, and it's January 1st. So that's pretty exciting. And then I have rotations all set and current counts and all this different stuff. So this all works into the flow. And then I have style guides. So for each of my products, each type of post, and each type has a post type and has instructions. So I worked with ChatGPT to basically define what are these instructions, what should they be, which is super helpful. And then it runs. So that's kind of outline of what information is in here. Now, how does it work? So I have automations. Automations are great. So there really aren't a ton of automations in here. This is actually pretty lightweight. But how it works, let's go through a static post creation. How it'll work is on thresholds. So I gotta change this so it actually runs. So it's going to run. So you can see it run. It says, okay, Inklings is up next. It is going to know based on the brand base that if Inklings is up next, we are going to do a static post for why it exists. And we're like, okay, cool. So I'm going to go to uploads and I'm going to do a static post for why it exists. And I am going to run it. So I'm going to come up with the content here because that is what is next. So I'm going to come up with the hook, the story angle, the value prop. And it could be all three, it could be two, it could be one. It has permission to kind of make variety in here because that's what makes these different. And once it adds it here, it is going to go over to content base and it's going to add it. Here, I'm going to sort it here so it's a little bit easier. It's going to add it here. And you're going to see it get made here. Mm. So you see that pop up here, why it exists, and it is there. And it made the post for me. So it automatically created it right there. This is the next one is Render-lings, a carousel of how the process actually works. So you can see on the uploads, it is Render-lings, a carousel, how the process actually works. So you can see it running. Now the carousel is good because it's got to make all of the images. So not only does it create the content and then it creates the initial one, it actually creates each individual slide over here. So it created each individual slide and then it moved them over to the content base over here. So I can see all of these right there and they all fit the brand. And I get the caption and I know this is exactly the order it's going to go in and it created the caption for me. So, and all of these are done with AI. So it's going to use the previous topics that have been made and going to not repeat any of those. It's going to use the previous content that's been made and not repeat any of those. So all of that's based in the automation. And it's going to rotate through and just continue making the post based on what I need. So it is going to just continue generating content for me. Now, right now, I just have it to where it's creating static carousel and reels, but I also have for LinkedIn as Reddit as well for creating posts based on different pieces of content and different ways it's going to update. So that is there as well. So it also will, once it creates the content, so you'll see like here, the caption came in, the image came in, so it's there, and then the date gets set for when Inklings is going to post, and so then it's ready to generate the next one. And it all works one at a time. That way it doesn't overlap and we don't end up getting some of the same content over and over and over again. But that is how it works.